Year 1545. Hurrem Sultan received a strange report from her palace spy. "My Sultan, near Amasya, there's a man. He looks very much like the Padishah, and according to rumors, he's his son." Hurrem didn't sleep that night, because if this was true, her own sons were in danger. If there was one more son, there was one more rival in the throne war, and Hurrem never allowed rivals, under any circumstances. But there's something you don't know yet. That son truly was Suleiman's son, and Suleiman had no idea. July 1545, Topkapi Palace, Hurrem Sultan's private chamber. Hurrem was 51 years old. She was aging, but her power was still at its peak. She had 5 sons. Mehmed died in 1543, Selim, Bayezid, Cihangir, and one daughter, Mirima. Selim and Bayezid were preparing for the throne. Both were strong, ambitious, competitive. Hurrem knew, when Suleiman died, one of her sons would ascend to the throne, and the others would be killed. That was Ottoman law. That's why Hurrem eliminated every threat in advance. She had eliminated Ibrahim Pasha. She would eliminate Mustafa. It wasn't 1553 yet, but she was planning. That day, her spy Hasan came. Hasan was a man working in Anatolia, Hurrem's eyes and ears. "My Sultan, I have brought important news." Hurrem listened carefully. "Speak." "Near Amasya, in Sardak village, there's a man. His name is Yusuf, a farmer, 40 years old." "What about this man?" Hasan hesitated. "My Sultan, that man, looks very much like the Padishah." Hurrem's heart raced, but her face showed no change. "Many people look alike." "But my Sultan, there are rumors in the village. They say this man is the Padishah's son." Hurrem froze. "What?" "His mother is a woman named Ayşe Hatun. 40 years ago, she worked as a concubine in the palace. She got pregnant but was expelled from the palace, and this Yusuf is her son." Hurrem's mind began racing. If this was true, if Suleiman had another son, if that son was still alive, it was dangerous, because in a throne war, every prince was a rival, known or unknown. "Are you sure?" asked Hurrem. "Or is it just gossip?" "My Sultan, I saw him myself. The man truly resembles the Padishah. Same facial structure, same eye shape, same posture." "Does my Padishah know about this man?" "No, my Sultan. I don't think he knows, because the man lives quietly in the village. He tells no one anything." Hurrem thought deeply. If Suleiman didn't know, that was good, because it would be easier to eliminate. But if the people learned, if the army learned, there would be problems. "Hasan, does no one know about this man?" "Everyone in the village knows, but no one informs the palace, because they're afraid. If we tell, maybe the man will be killed, they say." Hurrem smiled, a cold smile. "They're right." "My Sultan, what should we do?" Hurrem looked out the window. Outside, Istanbul stretched, beautiful, large, powerful. But that power was fragile. One wrong move could destroy everything. "First, I must be certain," said Hurrem. "Is this man truly the Padishah's son, or does he just resemble him?" "How will we find out, my Sultan?" "Find his mother, Ayşe Hatun. If she's alive, make her talk. Learn the truth." "And then?" Hurrem looked at him. In her eyes was cold determination. "Then, we solve the problem." This is where everything changed. 40 years ago, year 1505. Ayşe was 16 years old. She came from a poor family, but she was very beautiful. One day in Istanbul, a wealthy merchant saw her. He made an offer to her family. "I can have your daughter work in the palace as a concubine. Good money." Ayşe's father accepted because money was needed. Ayşe entered Topkapi Palace as a concubine. Young Suleiman was still a prince. His father Bayezid II was still Padishah. Ayşe worked among Suleiman's servants. She cleaned Suleiman's room, carried his meals. One day, Suleiman noticed Ayşe. "Are you new?" Ayşe bowed. "Yes, my prince. What's your name?" Ayşe. Suleiman looked at her. Young, beautiful, attractive. That night, Suleiman summoned Ayşe. And that night, Ayşe became Suleiman's concubine. But just for one night, because Suleiman was spending time with many women at that time. Ayşe was just one. 2 months later, Ayşe realized she was pregnant. She was scared, because pregnant concubines received special treatment. They were protected until childbirth. But Ayşe had a problem. She had rivals in the palace, especially a concubine named Gulbahar. Gulbahar was also one of Suleiman's favorites, and she wanted to get pregnant. When Gulbahar learned that Ayşe was pregnant, she became angry. If this girl gives birth before me, my prince will pay more attention to her. Gulbahar made a plan. She went to the palace administrator, lied. Ayşe is meeting with another man besides the prince, in the garden, at night, secretly. The palace administrator was shocked. Are you sure? Yes, I saw it with my own eyes. A lie. But the administrator believed it. Ayşe was summoned, interrogated. Did you betray the prince? No, never. Gulbahar says she saw you. She's lying. I'm pregnant, with my prince's child. But there was no proof, only Gulbahar's word. The palace administrator decided. Ayşe, tomorrow you will be expelled from the palace. There's suspicion of betrayal. Ayşe cried, begged, but I'm pregnant. I'm carrying my prince's child. Then go, give birth elsewhere, but you can't stay here. The next day, Ayşe was expelled from the palace. Suleiman never knew, because Ayşe was just a one-night woman, forgotten. Ayşe remained on Istanbul's streets. She was pregnant, penniless, alone. One day an old woman helped her. Come, stay in my house, until you give birth. Ayşe accepted. 9 months later she gave birth to a boy. She named him Yusuf. Yusuf was Suleiman's son, but Suleiman didn't know. No one knew. Ayşe cried as she looked at Yusuf. You're a prince, but no one will know this, because I must protect you. As Yusuf grew, his resemblance to Suleiman became clear. Same facial structure, same eyebrows, same eye shape. Ayşe was afraid. If someone notices, they'll kill him. When Yusuf turned 10, Ayşe told him something. Yusuf, I'm going to tell you a secret, but you won't tell anyone. What secret, mother? Your father is Padishah Suleiman. Yusuf was shocked. What? That's impossible. It's possible. You're his son, but he doesn't know, and he mustn't know. Why? Because you're a danger. You could be heir to the throne, and that makes you a target. That day, Yusuf understood something. He couldn't be a normal child, because royalty was in his blood. But Ayşe protected him. She took Yusuf far from Istanbul, to Anatolia, to Çardak village. There Yusuf grew up. He became a farmer. He married. He had 2 children. He lived a normal life. For 40 years, no one knew he was Suleiman's son. Until 1545, when a spy came to the village. What you're seeing is nothing, because Hasan found Ayşe, and Ayşe told everything. August 1545. Hasan came to Çardak village. Ayşe was now 56 years old. Old, wrinkled, tired, but intelligent. As soon as she saw Hasan, she understood. You're from the palace. Hasan was surprised. How did you know? Your clothes, your speech, your posture. A palace man is obvious. Hasan got straight to the point. Is Yusuf your son? Ayşe's face paled. Yes. Who is his father? Ayşe stopped. Long silence. Then she took a deep breath. Padishah Suleiman. Hasan's heart raced. Are you sure? I'm sure, because I remember that night. 1505, February. Suleiman was a prince then. I was his concubine. One night, that night Yusuf was made. Does the Padishah know? No. I was expelled from the palace. He didn't even know I was pregnant. Why were you expelled? Another concubine, Gulbahar, lied about me, said I betrayed him, and I was thrown out. Hasan took notes. Hurrem would want every detail. Does Yusuf know? Yes. I told him when he was 10, but I told him to hide it. Tell no one. Then why do the villagers know? Ayşe smiled sadly. Because Yusuf looks very much like the Padishah. Everyone noticed, but no one speaks up. Yusuf is a good man. He harms no one. Hasan stood up. Thank you, Ayşe Hatun. The information is sufficient. Ayşe held him. Please don't do anything to Yusuf. He's innocent. He's just living. Hasan didn't answer. He left. Ayşe cried that night. Because she knew Yusuf's life was in danger. Hasan returned to Istanbul. He told Hurrem everything. Hurrem listened, silently. Then she asked, "What kind of person is Yusuf?" "My sultan, a farmer. He has 2 children. He loves his wife. He's respected in the village. He's not interested in politics." "Does he have any claim to the throne?" "No, my sultan. In fact, quite the opposite. No one officially knows he's the Padishah's son." Hurrem thought. Normally, if there was no threat, she wouldn't do anything. But circumstances weren't normal. Because Selim and Bayezid were in competition. A throne war was approaching. And if someone found Yusuf, if they used him as a tool, there would be danger. Bayezid could find Yusuf and show him as a supporter. Look, another son of the Padishah. He's also an heir to the throne. Or Selim could show Yusuf as a threat and eliminate him. In either case, chaos would erupt. Hurrem lived by a principle: destroy what you can't control. And she couldn't control Yusuf. "Hasan, listen to me carefully," said Hurrem. "Yusuf must be eliminated." Hasan hesitated. "My sultan, but he's just a farmer, not a threat. Not now, but he could be tomorrow. And I can't take risks. How should I do it?" Hurrem answered with a cold expression, silently, without leaving traces. "It should look like an accident." Hasan understood. "Understood, my sultan." "And Hasan, the Padishah mustn't know. Never." "Why, my sultan?" Hurrem looked at him. "Because if Suleiman learns, he'll start searching for his son. He'll mourn. And I don't want that. I don't want him mourning for a son he didn't know. What about Yusuf's family? They shouldn't know either. Just Yusuf should disappear. Simple." Hasan bowed. "As you command, my sultan." That night, Hurrem lay in her bed thinking, "I'm killing another man. How many is that?" She didn't count, because it was unimportant. What mattered was protecting her sons, Selim, Bayezid, Cihangir, and if she had to sacrifice a farmer for that, she would. But the most shocking thing, a week before his death, Yusuf had a strange dream. Late August 1545, Chardak village. Yusuf was working in the field as usual, harvesting wheat. His wife Fatma brought lunch. "Yusuf, rest a bit. You're very tired." Yusuf smiled. "I'm fine. Let me just finish this field." His son Ali, 12 years old, came to him. "Father, can I help too?" "Of course, son. Come." It was a happy family, simple but peaceful. That night, Yusuf had a strange dream. He saw a great palace, golden doors, silk curtains, jeweled thrones. And a man sat on the throne. He couldn't see his face, but he knew. His father. Yusuf walked toward him. "Father?" The man turned his head. His face was identical to Yusuf's. "Yusuf, are you my father?" "Yes, but I never knew you." "I know. My mother told me." The man stood up. He approached Yusuf. "I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you. You didn't know. Still, you're my son. And I couldn't know you." Yusuf cried. "It's okay. I lived a good life." The man embraced him. "I know, but it will be short." Yusuf was surprised. "What do you mean?" "Danger is approaching. And you must be ready." Yusuf woke up. He was covered in sweat. His heart was racing. Fatma woke up. "Yusuf, are you okay?" "I had a dream." "What dream?" Yusuf didn't want to tell. "Nothing. Just a strange dream." But he had a feeling inside. Something bad was going to happen. August 25th, 1545. Evening. Yusuf was returning home from the field. The sun was setting. On the road he saw 2 riders. They were coming toward his village. He didn't recognize them. They were strangers. The riders stopped next to Yusuf. "Are you Yusuf?" "Yes." "Who's asking?" "We're from the palace. We need to talk to you." Yusuf's heart pounded. "From the palace? Why?" "The Padishah is summoning you." Yusuf was shocked. "The Padishah?" "Yes. Come with us." Yusuf hesitated. "But my family?" "Don't worry. It will be brief. You'll return tomorrow." Yusuf got on the horse. They left the village. But they didn't go to the village. They went toward the mountain, to a secluded place. Yusuf became suspicious. "Where are we going?" "The Padishah is at a nearby mansion." "We're going there." A lie. In the middle of the mountain, under a tree, the riders stopped. Yusuf dismounted. "Where is this?" One rider came from behind. He pulled out a silk cord. Yusuf understood. No, he tried to run, but he was caught. The silk cord was placed around his neck. It tightened. Yusuf couldn't breathe. His throat was constricted. His life flashed before his eyes. Fatma, Ali, his daughter Zainab, his mother Ayşe, and his father he never saw, Suleiman. Why? He thought. I'm just a farmer. I harm no one. But he got no answer. 3 minutes later, Yusuf's body went limp, motionless. The riders left his body on the ground. Should we bury him somewhere? No, leave him in the field. Make it look like an accident. Yusuf's body was left in the middle of the field, face down. The riders left. They disappeared into the night darkness. The next morning, villagers found Yusuf. Everyone was shocked. Yusuf is dead, Fatma screamed. Yusuf, no! Ayşe ran. She saw her son's body, and she knew. The palace did this, but she said nothing, because if she spoke, she could die too. Yusuf was buried, silently, in the village cemetery, and no one knew that Suleiman's 7th son had died, because officially, that son never existed. Wait a minute. Don't miss this detail, because years later, Suleiman had a strange dream. Year 1550, 5 years after Yusuf's death. Suleiman was 56 years old. He was aging. One night, he had a strange dream. He saw a child, a young man in his 40s. He resembled Suleiman. The man approached him. Father. Suleiman was surprised. Who are you? I'm your son. Which son? Selim? Bayezid? No, you don't know me, because I never came to the palace. Suleiman was confused. I don't understand. My name is Yusuf. My mother is Ayşe. 45 years ago she was your concubine, but she was expelled from the palace, and I was born, but you never learned. Suleiman's heart stopped. Is this true? Yes, I'm your son, but no one knew, and I was killed. Who killed you? Yusuf didn't answer. He just looked sad. Suleiman woke up. He was covered in sweat. Hurrem was sleeping beside him. Suleiman didn't wake her, but the dream stuck in his mind. The next day, he examined old palace records, year 1505, list of concubines, and he found Ayşe, expelled, 1505, February. Suleiman was shocked. There really was such a woman. He asked, where is this Ayşe now? An investigation was conducted, but Ayşe wasn't found, because Hasan had eliminated her too. Silently, Suleiman found nothing, but a doubt remained inside him. Did I really have another son? He asked Hurrem. Hurrem, there was a concubine named Ayşe in 1505. Do you remember? Hurrem lied. No, my sultan. That date is very old. I wasn't there then. Suleiman nodded, but he didn't believe it, because he had seen something in Hurrem's eyes, fear, but he didn't ask, because maybe he didn't want to know. April 1558. Hurrem was on her deathbed. 13 years had passed since Yusuf's death, but Hurrem hadn't forgotten, because Yusuf was an innocent man. He had no crime, just his existence was a crime. That night, Mihrma sat beside her. Mother, are you okay? Hurrem opened her eyes. Mihrma, I need to tell you something. Tell me, mother. I did very bad things. Like what? I had people killed, innocent people, because they could be threats. Mihrma remained silent. Hurrem continued. There was a man. His name was Yusuf. He was your father's son, but your father didn't know, and I had him killed. Mihrma was shocked. What? Because I was afraid. Your brothers could have been in danger, in the throne war. But was he innocent? Yes, he was just a farmer. He had a family. He lived a happy life. But I had him killed. Mihrma cried. Mother, why? Because as a mother, I had to protect my own children, and if I had to sacrifice others for that, I would. Mihrimah nodded. But that's not right. I know, but I didn't choose to be right. I chose to survive. That night, Hurrem died, and her last words were, "Yusuf, forgive me, you were innocent." Yusuf's story isn't in history books, because officially he never existed. It's written that Suleiman had 6 sons, Mustafa, Memhed, Selim, Bayezid, Cihangir, and one more, but Yusuf was forgotten because he wasn't recorded, wasn't recognized, wasn't known. Only in Chardak village on a gravestone was a name, Yusuf, farmer, died at age 40. No one knew under that grave lay a prince, Suleiman's 7th son, the never recognized prince. The threat, Hurrem silenced. This fictional story teaches us something. Power crushes innocent people too. Yusuf committed no crime. He didn't want the throne, he just lived. But his existence was a danger, because royalty was in his blood, and Hurrem didn't tolerate the risk. Maybe she was right. Maybe she was protecting her sons. Maybe she was wrong. Maybe she killed an innocent. But the result doesn't change. Yusuf died, and no one mourned, because no one knew he existed. So what do you think? Was Hurrem right? Or did Yusuf deserve to live? Share your thoughts about this fictional story. Another Ottoman secret coming next week. Are you ready?